Hello operators, I am Leonidas, this is Nucleares. We're playing version 2.0, patch 178, and let me turn down the sound here. There's a couple things that I hear from people. The first is, man, you talk fast. You go through these fast. And I hear that. In my regular, everyday profession, I talk for a living, and I talk quickly. I'm required to talk quickly for my profession. So it's just over time and doing it for so many years, that's just how I am. How you hear me is how I am, and it's hard for me to remember to slow down. The second one I hear is, man, you got a lot of startup videos, which is also very true. Which is why in my YouTube channel I have divided it up into different playlists so you can find things that are more useful for you. But the reason for that is because I started making videos around the time the new Reactor came out, and there were a bunch that came out kind of in rapid succession. So for each patch, with each change, I kind of repeated the videos a little bit. But I do it for you all. I'm not here for the clicks, the likes, the subscribes, I mean, that stuff's great, but I'm not here to be a YouTuber. Yes. I really like this game. I really enjoy it. And I want to help other people get to that point too, where they enjoy it and they really love it. And if I can help take the frustration out of it, I don't intend for every person to watch every video that I make. We have different skill levels, different understanding levels, different patches, different whatever. If you've already seen it, skip the video and find something that's useful to you. But I have a wide array, so you can take what you need to help you be successful and have fun and enjoy this game, this little indie game that I enjoy so much. So anyway, that's why all the videos. And what we're doing today is, well, I'm solving the first one, not the second one. I'm creating another startup video, but my goal is to do it slow. I'm going to be going through my checklist. In the description, I will post it. I'm going to go through each step by step. We're going to talk about it verbally, and then we will go through it and do it in sequence, actually perform it. And I'm going to go through it as slow as I can. I'm going to try and talk more slowly. I'm going to try and take steps more slowly. I'm not going to explain everything. I'm not going to explain all the whys behind the things. You can find that in another video. So for now, let's get going. Go ahead and look down at the description, and you're going to see my checklist that I posted there. The first one is activate all terminals. So when you start a new game, you have the option to start with a plant ready and then skip all activations. Those are the two options that I had selected. And the skip all activations, it did it for me. If you're playing with chemicals, which we are not, there's a bug where you have to manually activate this one, but otherwise they all start. So that one we're good on. External power and generators, manual and stop. That sets us up for that also. When I run, when we're running, we can turn the external power off and set our generator to automatic. So in case of a power failure, it'll go to automatic. But if we do it automatic now, it'll start running. We don't want that. Then we turn our pressurizer and our pressurizer heater on and thermostat on. We do that early because it takes a long time. It takes almost 20 in-game minutes for that to heat up. So that's why it's there early. Same with the condenser vacuum on number 6. That one takes a little longer. We then the rest of the checklist order is kind of because it just flows as we walk back down to that end of the control room. We turn our resistor bank on, we verify bypass and MSCV are set to 0, and then we wait. At that point, we're waiting for the pressure to build inside the reactor. The pressurizer makes it so that our coolant does not boil off. Our water doesn't boil once we hit 100 here. So we need this at a certain temperature before we do anything else. That's why it's there. Once that's at 150, then we proceed. We load our fuel. It starts unloaded. It's loaded but not inserted. And I know that's kind of weird. But right now, if you look inside the core, 6, you can see our control rods are fully inserted, and there's a piston, and our fuel is actually up above that. It's in this upper chamber. This is kind of the main core, and then above here and below, you can't really see it if I look out the window, but below these hatches, in between that is where our fuel is right now. So it's isolated or not inserted. It's loaded, but not inserted. So we have to do that before we do anything else, obviously. Once that's done, we get our primary pump going. and turn our condenser pump on. Primary pump is what takes the heat down. It also helps to keep the core cool for the most part. And then we pull rods, and that's when we start seeing the magic. That's when things begin to happen. That's when I consider starting the reactor. Everything before that is just prep work. So we pull the rods, and then we're waiting. It's a waiting game because as that heats up, the primary coolant system takes heat down to our steam generator, and this temperature is going to rise. As it gets above 100, it will start boiling off the water we have in there. This level will drop. As it boils, we generate steam inside this giant metal container right here, known as the steam generator. And we'll see our pressure go up. This is the guy we're waiting on. Once it gets to 60, two things happen in rapid succession. One, we open our steam valve to send steam down to the turbine. Two, we turn on our secondary coolant pump, to take cold water from the condenser and replace the water that we've lost out of the steam generator. We lost it to steam. We didn't lose it. We just converted it. That's a better way to say it. And then we sit and wait again. As that steam goes through the turbine here, it's going to spin it up. We're aiming for 30-60, and we just wait. And wait and wait. It takes a long time. And while it's doing that, we watch our temperature here. I aim for 300. I find that is the primo perfect sweet spot of a temperature. So that's what I like, is 300, especially when it comes to chemicals, but that's for another day. So we just wait for that to happen. Then we connect it to the grid, and then we're done. As soon as I've connected to the grid, that's when I consider the reactor started. We're producing energy, and everything's ready to go. We just meet demand, and with my method, our reactor will already start in thermal balance. It's one of the nice features about doing it this way. I apologize, I'm still under the weather, but I'm here for you while making videos. So that's it. Those are the steps. So let's go through them. Let's start over again. Now we're going to do it. Number 1, activate all terminals. Done. External power on. Check. Generator, or the backup generator, set to manual. It's also stopped. If it were running, you'd see a green light here. Does it actually tell me that? Hey, it does. But it is not. So we're going to turn on our heating elements. Leave them on high. Note that it just flipped over to 941. It takes, I think, 18 minutes. So at 9:59, we should have that up. And we should hit about 150-ish here. What's happening is this temperature is raising. As that temperature it raises, it creates pressure here. The pressure there creates pressure here in the core. We come down, next on our list is condenser vacuum on. This takes a little while also. This will go up in this will go up in chunks like that, all the way up till it's 100. Next, we condenser vacuum on resistor bank on. This is my second time making this video because I left my resistor bank off because I was talking too much, not paying attention, and following my checklist, and I missed that one and screwed the whole thing up. Bypass set to 0, check. MSCV. The game starts with this one open. We want it to 0. Now we do the waiting game. I'll probably speed this up so that we don't have to wait too long. Okay, as promised, it's about 9:58 as this hits one. Oh, there we go. Close enough. Okay. So now we have verified that our core vessel pressure is at or above 150 bar. We now switch our operating mode to nominal.
New operating mode established.
You're going to see an animation when I load the fuel going from that upper chamber in the reactor core to the central one. See the piston lowering? And there's our fuel. We go to primary pump on and set it to 15. You can use either knob. If you had more than one, this would control all 3 of them, or you can adjust them individually. I use this one, and the way that I am able to do 5 at a time is I hold the Alt button and hit D, D, D. Takes me up to 15. It'll tell me it's flowing.
Has started to circulate.
Condenser pump on to 1. This one will probably give us an alarm. It'll say, oh, there's no power to the condenser pump. It loves to tell me that one. Let's see if it does it. Nope, it didn't this time. Made a liar out of me. But we verified that our vacuum's at 100, so we can turn that off because that is next on our list. Now we're ready. Now we start the process. So let's put these at 93. I'm guessing we're going to end up with them at about 93 and a half. But we'll pull that to get going. We'll get a neat little animation at 55. We'll see the next animation. I always tell people, oh, cover your ears, it's loud. It is, but then I forget that when I do these videos, I reduce the volume levels so you guys don't get your eardrums blown out. But I do. So we will speed time up, actually.
The reactor has reached critical mass.
Sweet.
And its status has changed to reactive.
Awesome. So that's climbing. And our primary pump is sending heat down here. That's above 100, so this is dropping. This is going up, and again, we're looking for 60. 60. We'll wait for that to happen. See if we get any alarms. I'm guessing at least one right here. It'll be that guy. He'll go to 0 and then come back. Maybe not. I suppose not. So again, after this hits 60, two things happen in rapid succession. We open the MSCV to... Oh, there it is. There it is. See? It went to 0, and it comes back. Ah! I knew it. So two things are going to happen back to back. We're going to open our MSCV to 5, and our secondary pump to 25. This should always be 5 times this. That's what creates the thermal balance here. Forget this guy. He's broken. Don't worry about him. This one too. They'll be patched later. But if you want to know more about my settings, why I do 5 and 25, there's other videos on that. We are approaching 60. Okay, we are there. Alt, left mouse, D. Oh, not that much, right there. We turn it on, and this one's nice and easy. We just hit slow, which is the preset for 25. This is the preset for 25, 50, and 100. And in a second, we'll hear this spool up as the torque climbs. Let's go check our temperature real quick. Okay, we're getting close to that 300. So I'll watch that for a second. Okay, so this is coming up. Oh, don't want to forget to request start operations. So from the time that we pulled rods, I don't remember what time it was, but you can go back and check. Look how long it takes from when we pull rods to when we actually connect. It takes quite a while. 90 minutes, 90 game minutes maybe. Oh, we are over. Which is okay. This should stop-ish. This is a temperature gauge. 5 means it's not, the core is not heating up or cooling down. Anything above 5 means heating up. Anything below 5 means it's cooling off. I'm guessing it's going to stop at 5. Oh, there it goes. Okay. It's like I've done it a time or two. And now we wait. It's a really, really boring waiting game. Pressure's good. Everything's good. Yes, I know this is close to the red. Don't worry about it. It will come back. I promise. It works. Don't chase the colors. So let's go triple speed and wait for this to get 3060. Welcome back. I feel like that took a really long time. Notice the time, we're not even at 3060 yet. When I play with chemicals, I aim for 300 on my temperature. That might be a little cool. Maybe by having chemicals, the add-on turned on, 300 is more effective, but man, that's going slowly. I would maybe aim for something higher like 350 over here. Might help you out, but we'll continue with what we're doing for now. Notice that our temperature has dropped. Our reactivity was showing 4.99 a second ago. What we'll do is we'll pull these out just by a couple to try and help reduce. Oh, it's going back up. Okay, I lied. Never mind. When I came over while we were skipping ahead, this was 4.99. Anyway, let's come back over. We're still not there yet. Let's go triple speed. Just a word to the wise. So what we're going to do now is when this ends, it's going to be 3052. I just know that because that's where it always ends. But it'll usually come up somewhere between 3050 and 3060. 3060 is the number we're aiming for. That is in sync with the rest of the grid. Do not close your circuit breaker until you're at 3060. Do not mash these buttons until you're above 3050. It will break it. So I hold Alt and Shift so I don't get the little animation. I can click it fast, wait till it gets to the top, turns green. I need to see this light turn green before I hit close. There you go. We didn't really talk about that ahead of time, which I should have. But again, we're waiting for this to spin up. And we don't touch anything until it's above 3050. And it has stopped climbing. And then we use this to manually move it up on our own. Once we have it stopped at the top and we have the green sync light here, then we close it. And now we're running. We can keep an eye on our temperature. We're coming down at all a little bit, teeny bit. We can meet demand. Right now we're over our demand. Your goal should be to try and meet this demand without having to rely on resistor banks. If you want to know how to do that, other videos for it. But there's your tip. Bypass. Try not to rely on it. It's a skill. It demonstrates your skill if you can do it without relying on bypass. And there we go. Notice that we're balanced, like I promised. We do come out high, but if we were to come out lower, it would mean we're sending less steam, and this startup process would take even longer, which we don't want. So there you go. That has been your startup walkthrough slowed down. Hopefully it was a little easier to understand. If I'm still going too fast, let me know. I will delete this video and put up a new one. So thank you so much for coming. I'm Leonidas. We'll see you again soon.